That's pretty much explaining everything. That's really great. Yeah. And I think I had your argument of political Islam being anti-imperialist. I mean, I'm not telling that you are suggesting that. You just mentioned that from the perspective of the liberal left, and like because like we both are Marxists, right? So I want to know your Marxist analysis on if the political Islam is pro-imperialist or if it is anti-imperialist. What do you think?
It's okay. Islamism these days is pro America or like West imperialism, and it supports the West imperialism. Like in Iran, for example, we have this term Shia imperialism. Look what they're doing in Iraq. Look what they're doing in Lebanon, in Syria, in Bahrain, in Yemen. Like Islamic regime of Iran is everywhere. In Afghanistan. And if you talk about this, like, analysis of the regime, they say like Bahrain, for example, is part of Iran. Iraq is also part of Iran. We're supposed to use the sources of Syria because we were like involved in the war, and we saved the government. So we need to have some share of the harbors and the resources of Syria. These sort of things they say in public, in the media. Clearly, they saying this. Like we need to, like, abuse the other countries, and that's fine by them. So if you ask me about imperialism, what is really dangerous right now is the Shia imperialism, and Islamism support the Islamic these sort of imperialism. So basically, I'm against, like, I see myself as a communist, as a far left. I'm against this capitalistic world, and I'm against, like, there is, like, other countries, like the government of the other countries, like, the mass capitalistic citizens of the other countries trying to abuse the other countries working class people. I'm against that. And, like, I think, like, this colonizing and, like, capitalistic world should be downfall somehow. So we need, like, new sort of like global system. That's what I believe in. But talking about, like, imperialism, Islam and Islamism was never against imperialism. They were against the West imperialism, mostly America, mostly US. And they were always, like, on the side of the Russia, China, government like Islamic regime. And they also, like, sort of like imperialism, making, like, abusing the working class in the Middle East, abusing the other countries. And, like, what sort of crime that US are accused of, they practice it on daily life with their own people and the people in the Middle East. So Islamism is, just to, like, summarize, Islamism is against the American imperialism, but it is pro Shia imperialism in the Middle East, for example. Like, as I said, like, what's happening, the Islamic regime, what's Islamic regime is doing in Syria and Iraq is a good example of Islamic imperialism, or like Shia Islamic imperialism.